Welcome back to another episode of Mr. J's Workshop. Today I'm over here at Texas Skyway in Boerne, Texas. They asked me to come over to look at an instrument panel to do an overlay. Some of the things they do here, they specialize in 182 modifications. Behind me, they're installing an 0540 with a brand new prop on it. But not only motors, they do interiors and other modifications. So let's take a look to see what they want done inside the plane. So what they're looking to get done here is the previous avionics shop who did the panel work here mounted the switch too low. When the pilot selects the gear switch to bring up the landing gear, it interferes with the switches, which is not a good thing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to move the trim switch to the right and relocate the EBB disconnect to another location. But to make it look all original, I'm going to make an overlay to match the panel here with the removed hole. So there's not a hole that just stands out on the panel and wondering what the hole's for. So that's our mission today. We're going to make an overlay and match the panel as possible to the original panel that was made. Let's get started. So now we're back in the workshop. And what I'm planning to do is I'm going to use some 15 thousandths aluminum, which is pretty thin. It's a 0.015 in decimal, and I think it'll be durable for this application. The customer asked to try to keep the overlay inside the white border that's on the existing panel. So I measured all that out, and now I'm going to cut my material on the shear. So I got the material cut. I'm going to lay out the holes for the toggle switches. And the way I do this is I go back to my famous painter's tape and I put painter's tape on the aluminum, and then I'm going to take it over to the laser and laser cut where the toggle switch holes are going to go. And the reason why I do this is it's pretty easy because the way I do the holes, I don't like using step drills on thin material. It's doesn't really do a nice job, and it's not really accurate all the time because it walks off a little bit. And if it catches, it really could slice your hand up if you don't got the material clamped down. So what I use is a punch and die set, and I slide the material in the die set and take the punch, and the tape is gonna, because I laser cut the holes for the toggle switch, the tapes are gonna act as a guide to where the punch is gonna sit. So it's pretty precise. It'll be within 5 or 10 thousandths of tolerance, plus or minus, doing it this way. So it's pretty damn accurate. So after I got the holes punched, I take it over to my corner cutter, and I'll cut the corners. I'm going to put a 1/8 radius on all the corners. You can do this with a belt sander, but I have a corner cutter here that cuts radiuses on the corner and does a really nice job at it, and very quickly. Now the next step is just to sand it and deburr it to get it prepped for powder coating. What I'm thinking to do on this job is I get requests sometimes to do two-color powder coating. And what that means is I'm going to powder coat this in white first. And I'm going to do 2 coats of white. Now I'm going to take that over to the oven, and I'm going to bake it for uh, bake it 200 degrees for 10 minutes. Then I'm going to take it back to the paint booth, and I'm going to powder coat it gray. This will be the finished color to match the existing panel. Now I'm going to take it back to the oven and bake it at 400 degrees for 15 minutes. But the real trick here is you get your overlay and you make sure that reaches 400 degrees. When it reaches 400 degrees, then you set your time. In this case, it's going to be 15 minutes. This material is pretty thin, so it doesn't take long to heat up. So it won't take long at all. Now that I got the material cured at 400 degrees, I'm going to take it out, let it cool, and bring it back into the laser. So this is a tedious, how can I put this? It's a very delicate operation because what you want to do is engrave through the top layer, which is the gray, just to touch the white layer. And this may take some practice. In my machine, I know if I use 50% of power and about 80% speed, that gets me to the gets me through the gray coat and just touching into the white. I may have to run the engraving twice in order to get a clean engraving. And it normally comes out very nice. The laser heats up the powder coat and puts like a little gloss to it. In this case, it's more of a satin look. Um, I've done in the past where people ask me just to engrave to the metal, so it would be like it would be. I have a sample here. It would be a powder coat straight to the metal. So it looks pretty nice. It's pretty shiny. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take it down to the white coat that we applied first, which came out pretty nice. So now that we got that done, let's take a trip back over to the shop. I mean, take a trip back over to Texas Skyway. They're here on the field also. So I'm back here in the shop again. I took it over to Texas Skyway and I fitted up on the panel. It fit really perfect. Really happy with it. Except the existing panel has brand new lettering on it, which was silk screen like a glossy white. And the powder coated engraving was more of a matted finish and didn't really complement the panel. I could leave it like that. I mean, it didn't look too bad. My gut just told me just redo it. So now we're back in the shop here, and the process now will be sanding off the existing powder coat, re-powder coat it, put it back in the oven, let it cure. Now I'm going to bring it back into the shop. I'm going to use my plastic stencil paper. I'm going to mask it. Now I'm going to engrave it. And the final step here is just airbrush all the lettering. I'm going to use this uh, Wicked paint. I get this on Amazon. Uh, it's great. It's like a glossy white, and I think it's going to be pretty close to what that silk screening looks like. So I airbrushed all this. Good. Now that it's done, I'm going to take the stencil paper back off, and let's head back over there and see how everything fits. Well, we got it installed. It's pretty damn close. I I did leave out how I found the powder coat color. So the aircraft log, if you go into log books, when they did the instrument panel, there should have been a record of what they used for painting the panel. And what I found there was it was a cardinal gray powder coat. And I just purchased the same color, and it's pretty damn close. Well, if you like the video, give us a like, please subscribe, and comment below. We'll see you next time. Have a great day.